The gospel of patriotism has been ongoing in Uganda for a reasonable time now. Whereas it has yielded some results, more still needs to be done in some regions, and one of them, Rwenzori and Kasese district in particular.
What we are saying to our fellow young people, it is time we begin to understand and not be misguided. This country belongs to all of us, and therefore it is our responsibility to see a better country by coming together and doing the right thing.
When I talk about patriotism, it does not consider your religion, it does not consider your political affiliation, it does not consider your age. Patriotism is for all Ugandans, despite of different political parties that we subscribe to.
Uganda was known for insecurity in the 1970s and 1980s, which left the country shattered in the state of unrest. Rwenzori region in particular had been known for instability due to infiltration by rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces, whereas this has since been contained with the intervention of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The area youth were recently mobilized into violence. The NRM youth are not willing to let this bizarre act repeat itself.
Now, the Uganda we want is a country without violence in it, because if you are promoting violence in your country, then you don't love it.
Actually, it's the service and the sacrifice as the Ugandans to love our country.
To me, as a Ugandan, I'm a Ugandan, I love my country. That means if I love my country, I love Africa as well.
Uganda's demographic statistics indicate that the youth constitute the biggest percentage of the country's population. This means that the future of this country largely depends on the young people. Roslyn Ayabazibwe, a member of the National Youth Coalition for NRM Mobilization, urges fellow youth to have a dream for their country.
There is what is called the American dream, which every person in America has to work for so that it is achieved, which is not so common in Uganda. In Uganda especially, you find when we only leave the things for the leaders, of which leaders cannot lead alone. They need the people to support them as they do the work.
A nationalist can never be responsible to his country without being patriotic. That one I have to at least put it clear that patriotism, a nation without patriotism is like a building without foundation.
On Uganda's peacekeeping missions outside, the NRM youth prefer to call this a spirit of Pan-Africanism and patriotism, which every Ugandan should embrace.
You don't sleep because every time they are fighting, they are quarreling. At the end of the day, you not sleep. You have no sleep at night, and it means in the morning you go for work. When you have sleep, because the neighbors were quarreling, you never had sleep.
We say love your neighbor as you love yourself. As we send our members to different countries, neighbors like Sudan, Somalia, we are loving our neighbors as we love ourselves.
Therefore, for us, we are Ugandans. We are avoiding those issues of neighbors sleeping while quarreling, so that we can have peace while at work.
Under their theme, My Country, My Responsibility, the youth also spread the gospel against homosexuality as a way of preserving the African culture.
Things like homosexuality coming to Africa, and some people are embracing them, but that is not the African culture. So this calls upon the young people to know that there are African cultural values that we need to protect. To know that a man has to marry a woman, not a fellow man.
Homosexuality causes lack of respect for the country and the people in the country. I'm imagining a country where a man sleeps with a man. Where will the generation come? Because with a man sleeping with a man, there will be no children anymore.
Promoting love for one's country is everyone's responsibility, which requires combined efforts. The National Youth Coalition for NRM Mobilization continues to exhibit this through communal activities, with the most recent being in Kasese district. Henry Okrut, UBC News.